and welcome back to class. In this lesson we'll be discussing project settings and sequence settings. They are quite similar, but there's a little bit of difference between project settings and sequence settings. So let's jump right in. What are project settings? Well, as you can see on the screen, project settings are the rules you set at the start for how your videos will look and sound. So imagine it like setting up the rules for a game or choosing the settings for a new level in a video game. So it's basically the way your videos should look, the dimension they should take. So the videos you play on your phone is actually different from that video you play on your iPad or your TV or your computer. They have different dimensions, and dimensions are the sizes for videos. So what are we looking at? Why do we need project settings? Well, these settings make sure your videos look good on any screen, whether it's a phone, computer or TV. So if you're making a drawing and you want it to fit a page perfectly, you choose the right paper size. So project settings are like choosing the size and the quality for your video. So if we want to change our settings, I would advise we jump right in. We look for file, we go to file, then you go down to new, then under new you see project, you see production, you see team project, then you see sequence. So I'd like you to note that you can use the Control N or the Command N if you're on a Mac to launch the sequence dialog box. So in the sequence dialog box, we have a little bit of a tab here. Then we have the sequence presets, we have the settings, we have the tracks and the VR video tabs. So you look forward to the settings tab. Under the settings tab, you have varieties of commands and settings that you can change to your own desires. So I really do want you to note that you do not need to panic or change whatever you do not know yet until you understand what each function is for the better. So this is actually the main part of the project settings, but I would like to go over a few terminology so you can understand better. So what is resolution? Well, resolution is basically the size of your video, so it makes it look big or small on the screen. So let's say, for example, you have a 4K TV at home. The resolution for a 4K TV or the dimension for a 4K TV is totally different from that you play on your iPad. So can you play a 4K file or a 4K video on your iPad? Absolutely yes. If you are watching YouTube, you can always play 4K and you can play in real time too as well. So in your video resolution, I want you to see it like a piece of paper where you can set your paper to different sizes just for you to draw upon. So you do whatever fits your screen when it comes to choosing dimension. So the most popular dimension for videos is the 1920 versus the 1080p. So do not forget 1920 1080p. That's basically world standard for the HD videos that we watch on TV. So if you want a wider or a better resolution, you need to upgrade or you need to double whatever figure you have given it at that point in time. So here we have 1920 and we have 1080. So if it's going to be for 4K, we are going to have double of this. So 1920 by 1920 is going to be 3840. Then for the vertical angles of the video, 1080 plus 1080 is going to give us 2160. So there we have it. That's our 4K resolution and we're ready to work with it. So when you click on OK, you jump right into Premiere and you can start editing. So I also like to go over frame rate. Frame rate is actually the speed of your video. So this settings controls how smooth your video look by setting how many pictures can be shown in each frame. So let's say videos can get really very smooth and they can get really buffering at times. So the reason for that is because of the frames in each second of the video. So let's say a video is 10 seconds long. In 10 seconds you could have 60 frames in 1 second, and in the next second you could have 60 frames in the next second, there on till you have 10 seconds. So in this video I want you to see the frames per second as pictures that are taken to form a video. So when you take 24 pictures and you put them into a second, you have 1 second of a video. So as we move on, I also want us to note the audio settings. Well, the audio settings is actually quite simple. Let's jump back right into our settings. Click on File, click on New, we go to Project, then we go to Sequence, or you use the Ctrl N or the Command N on Mac. In these videos we jump right into the settings bar, do not forget. So in our audio settings we have our 48,000 Hz and audio samples. So you do not need to change this is actually perfect. It is a default setting in Premiere and it is the standard quality for audio settings. So sometimes you might be wondering, do I really need to change these project settings? Well, for beginners I do not think you need to change the settings for the project. Just leave it the way it is. Premiere has a default setting that works best for graphics and sound options, so you can start working right away. Well, as long as you have chosen good settings that fit what your videos may look like, you are good to go. In our next class we'll be discussing about organizing media and assets. See you in the next class. Bye for now.